So I really do hope today that my speech does coincide with the theme, rhetoric. And I think perhaps it does. So I'll do myself the gratuitous favor of speaking along those lines. Hopefully by the end of the speech, you will be inspired and encouraged enough to make certain choices about your life so that you can really live well. Mr. Chair, fellow Toastmasters, have you heard of those cases where an executive at a fairly young age surprisingly falls and dies? Reports have all of those, newspapers, TV. We hear and learn about all of those on a frequent basis these days. What could be the root cause? Lifestyle choices, and the most common and the silent killer, the heart attack. With knowing that, what are we going to do to prevent ourselves from falling into a similar trap? There's a couple of things that we can look at. We can start about discussing a very contentious subject, career choices. That means that, are you going to sacrifice your life and your health over a career? Is your ambition going to take over your life, and all that you have to do and show for is really work, 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 work? Fellow Toastmasters, one thing that we really need to have is to be very clear about our priorities. Are you going to choose career success? Are you going to choose money in the detriment of your overall health? Remember, there's no right or wrong answer. It's what is right for you. Don't get me wrong though. I'm not saying that hard work is not essential. Hard work is vital. However, have your priorities balanced. Are you going to neglect the one most important thing in this life, which is sleep, work throughout the night on a continuous basis, so you can continuously work and work and work and work? Are you not going to be that victim of the heart attack? Second thing that we can look at, which is a little bit lighter, let's look at the lighter side of life. Lifestyle choices. We've all heard about them. There's the traditional boring ones. Oh no, you can park a little bit further from the entrance of the mall or from the office block. You can take the stairs instead of the lift. We all love that, don't we? Those are traditional, right? We can also look at a little bit more conventional ones. We can start by selecting healthier meals at our cafeteria. You can start by talking about stress with a colleague. You can start making yourself feel better. Morning jog. Perhaps join a soccer team. You can start small. You can start big. You can start with a colleague. Start with a friend. Start alone. You can have a healthier, balanced diet. A healthier lifestyle. Make a distinction of what it is to have a healthy mind and a healthy body. But whatever it is that you need to do, start today. Another thing that we can look at is the overall medical position, your profile medically. You need to understand what your exposure is, what your risk exposure is. You need to understand where you are medically, how fit you are, so you can be able to make the right choices and the right decisions about your life in line with your medical profile. By doing that, you can also understand what risk mitigating initiatives you will need to start taking to ensure that your overall health is in check. You can follow what the medical aids really do well these days: your annual checkups, your dentistry, making sure that your heart is in check. That is all in aid and in an endeavor to ensure that your overall health and your overall outlook in life is safe, and that you do not become victim of that silent killer which kills all the executives at fairly young ages, which is the heart attack. With all that said, and for those of us who are already doing it, well done. For those of us who are doing it, but are doing it unconsciously, I would urge you to ensure that you do it consciously, so that you avoid falling trap of that heart attack, and that you really do live well. Mr. Toastmaster.